So there we go, we've got Chandos Place. That gentleman just walking up there in passing informed me that Jesus loved me and died to save me, so I thanked him for that. If we have the Institute of Chinese Medicine up Chandos Place there, by the way, not far up, you'll find Chris Kidd, a friend of mine, a recruitment consultant I've worked with in the past, with his office, Big Four Careers.co.uk. Not that I was ever tempted by the Big Four per se, but he doesn't just do the Big Four, but that's his focus group. Yeah, big up to you, Chris, if you're watching. This is the end of William IV Street, and you're just round the corner. This is the National Art Gallery. Coming out here, there's Nelson's column, another obelisk of sorts. Not quite an obelisk, but a column with Nelson on the top. Decent bloke, Nelson. St Martin's Lane going up there because of the church there, which is St Martin in the Fields. That one there, I'm focused up too far, I think. St Martin Fields, where they obviously have some very good acoustics, and it's a favoured place for the recording of classical music on instruments of the time, which means that they recreate the instruments to sound like they're likely to have sounded given the technology of the time, and to try to recreate as close as possible what they would have possibly sounded like back then. I'm not sure, I haven't gone through all of this before, because there's a lot of these places I have actually filmed in the past, coming up and down, although perhaps not quite so comprehensively.
This is Charing Cross Road.
As that gentleman said in passing to his friend, this is Charing Cross Road, and there's a film about Charing Cross Road, so they are. That's what I should have been telling you, but he's mentioned it to his guest, probably from outside London, or maybe from outside the UK, more probably, because I don't know if there'd be an English person alive that wouldn't be aware that this is Charing Cross Road, and there's a film about Charing Cross Road. Nobody needs any information about that theatre either. It's the Garrick Theatre, you probably heard of that. This is still Theatreland, very much so. There's Kaplan with their tests, the Kaplan tests, test prep and admissions. If you're interested in Kaplan, that's where you'll find them. Specialists in what they do. So we've got a nice pedestrian zone here now, Irving Street, they're calling it. And I'm refreshed to see Wagamama. Where did I last see that? Wagamama. Oh yeah, I saw it in Copenhagen. And it was ridiculously overpriced. London, you may say London's expensive, but I tell you what, Copenhagen's in a different league. Café Rouge, nice white bricks with the red letters on. It's like a nice kind of area to be hanging out in. Nice for kind of evening life. Going to the theatre to see a show. It won't be one of my films at the show, I don't suppose. And then sitting in one of these lovely cafes afterwards. Oh, convictions that stick. Warning. It's armed with smart water. Smart water's this fluid that you can spray on things, which contains an isotope that glows in a certain colour pattern, unique, so that if you, and it's also sprayed in such a way that if you manhandle goods that are not yours, that have been protected with it, it's going to rub off on you or your clothing, and it's going to get in your hair and all sorts of things. I can't imagine that this does anybody's health any good, but never mind. And afterwards, when you get someone come up to you with a certain kind of torch, ultraviolet I dare say, you're going to start glowing. Okay, in the end the battery did come to an end, so it's not that fantastic. Panton Street, named after the printer's colour scheme. Maybe I'll get back on again later. Well, I hope you will mind the gap in how well these films pass from one to another, but I did want to turn this on again. We've actually, and I hope that you'll also forgive me the needless eroticism. There's somebody that's got themselves all done up for photos. There's a Darth Vader character as well. I didn't put it on for their benefit. I put this on to show you this Eros statue. They say that everyone on planet Earth, if you stand here long enough, which is what these people are trying to do, everyone on Earth will come past and put some money on your guitar. Right there. So that's what the saying goes for. I'm sure I've done all this before and said all of this before, but nevertheless, rather than have you go back for nearly 2,000 films and find out where I said it, I'll just say it again. You know, I wouldn't be the first person ever to be guilty of repetition, I don't think. There we go, Piccadilly Circus, the Eros statue. I don't know where. There's Ripley's #1 museum, which used to be the HMV shop, didn't it? Or is that the HMV shop? That's supposed to be the Virgin Megastore or something, I can't remember now. HMV. Anyway, lily whites are still there. Some things don't change. And down there you'll come to the Houses of Parliament if you go down there.